Being Christian is hard. Hey y'all. I am sitting on my couch today because I've been having such an amazing, crazy week. Actually, so as you can see by the title of this video, I'm here to talk about your lust and being obedient. Because honey, when I tell you, that is like, being obedient is the number one thing. And I think controlling your lust is something that a lot of us, each and every one of us, struggle with. So two big points today. And I'm going to start with lust. Okay? So, in particular this week, right? Actually today of me filming this video, I had a young man come to me. Well, not come to me, but he texted me, messaged me on my phone. We were supposed to meet up a couple weeks ago. He does not live in this state, the current state that I live in. He lives in a whole nother state. And he was supposed to come meet up with me to hang out, before he goes overseas for his job. And a couple weeks ago, I was like, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. And for some reason, after that initial conversation went, which was maybe like 3 weeks ago, he messaged me like a week ago, and I never responded. Didn't feel the need to respond because it wasn't even about anything, number one. And then today he messaged me again. It was basically telling me like, hey, are you ignoring me? And I guess, plans aren't going through. And mind you, we've been planning this for a while. These plans have been in the making for a hot minute. So like the fact that now really is like optimal time for the plans to go through, it's like, and then I'm just kind of like ignoring him, just lets me know like that I'm good on this, because I realize how much value I hold as a woman, and not only that, a woman of God. And why would I want to put myself in a situation like that where someone who doesn't deserve me, someone who doesn't know me, at least doesn't know the new me, like why would I let that person come into my space, invade my temple for a couple of days and then go be about your business? It just really like perplexes me that like, I just didn't see my value and see my worth at such an earlier stage of life, because like it would have saved so much heartache. And I mean, yes, also I think those heartaches were definitely necessary for the growth, but like I just wish I would have saw the value in myself earlier. And like another reason like why I don't even want to go through that, because that coincides with being obedient, right? Like me and God had a whole thing this year. We talked about it before the end of last year that we're going to continue to be abstinent. We're going to continue to just focus on businesses and focus on school, work, whatever the case may be, starting this year off making money, because I don't want to be working for the rest of my life. I really don't, honestly. I don't even want to be working after this year. But by the Spirit, by the blood, we'll see. But, and knowing that I want to make space and make room for the things that I desire, which is a family, which is a husband, children, an actual family, you know what I'm saying? Why would I continue to let people come into my life and hold up space that I want open for someone who actually deserves it? Why am I going to make this person a placeholder when I know good and well God is working on getting me to the person that needs to fill this spot? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, for temporary fun, for temporary thrill, I'm gonna let you come and not only take up space, but also destroy, taint my body, taint my flesh, knowing well I'm supposed to be saving it for God and also my earthly husband. I'm gonna let you do that, diminishing my value as a woman, making me feel like, and this is just me, maybe you may not feel this way, but like making me feel like an object. And I'm also making let me take responsibility, making myself feel like an object, feel like a thing to someone. Because once we do those things, right, we all think, oh, victim, 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 they did to us, they did this, but we also do it to ourselves, right? We have to take accountability. We also do it to ourselves, and which reinforces these negative thought patterns about ourselves. I wouldn't say this was a minute ago, but quite a long time ago, when I was going through this cycle of just letting people in my life, letting people use me, I felt used. I felt used and abused, and these thought patterns, I don't mean anything. I'm just something to do something with. I'm just passing time. I'm a placeholder. Like, these thought patterns, I keep putting myself in positions for those thought patterns to continue to manifest physically in my life. And that's what happened. So, I decided today, I said, you said no. No, I've already put up multiple boundaries, girl. I just would I'm not going to say but whatever fish came to me, I would capture it and bring it in. At the time, I didn't care. And also at the time, I didn't know what I was doing. I thought I was just, living life, ooh, just having fun. But no, those experiences started and continued a thought pattern and even made it worse. And now that I know my value, thank God, I've had great spiritual online teachers, Tony Gaskins, R.C. Blakes, April Mason, and some others who, helped develop my mindset. Also God, Jesus, thank you. But help me develop my mindset and take myself seriously. No. This person does not deserve your body. This person does not even deserve your time. They have not even taken the time out to get to know you as a human being, get to know you as a person, the new person you are, the old person you are. This person does not actually care about you, and you're about to let them come in your space knowing damn well it's not going to feel good for you, and taint your space and set you back. Mind you, like I said, this whole year was supposed to be about me connecting with God, me fulfilling my purposes in my businesses, me making more money. This was supposed to be a year of elevation, and it still is, of course. But really being intentional, because that's what I want to be. I want my life to be intentional. I want my walk with God to be intentional. I want my business to be intentional. I want my money making to be intentional. I want every relationship that I acquire this year to be intentional. And I have made strides in those areas, but this was setting me back, and I was not about to let it set me back any further. I made a commitment, and I want to make a commitment. I want to keep this commitment to God. I don't want to do that again. I don't want to do that again. I do not want to do that again. Let another person come into my space, come into my being, and don't even deserve it. I'm not even your girlfriend. We're not even really friends. You know what I'm saying? I'm just letting you come into my space because I don't have nothing else better to do. And that's really what it is. Women, we don't be having nothing else better to do. We be bored. You gotta stop. Bored. Gotta stop being bored, babe. Lesson 2. Obedience. Who, girl? Telling y'all I'm on this journey through the year. And last week I had a little meltdown. TikTok is an iffy world for me because I get really influenced when I go on TikTok. I don't go on TikTok very often, but when I do, I go on TikTok and I'm on there for hours, which is why I don't go on there very often. And I was scrolling on this young lady's page. I just happened to see her page, and she was a stripper, a lady of the night. A lady of the night. She was a lady of the night. She was a beautiful girl, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know, I was just intrigued, so I was just like going through her page, just watching. In this time, right, I am like really upset because monetarily, like, I'm not where I want to be with my finances. I'm not where I want to be with finances, right? And I want to be, I just want to start making money, right? And like, this is really looking optimal for me. Girl, all I gotta do is talk to some men, put on something sexy, blah, 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 do my hair, do my makeup, and talk to some men, some weird, like, just some random bozos. Like, I'm really good at talking to men I'm not attracted to, and that's mainly what be in them strip clubs. At least the, like, not the big ones, you know what I'm saying? So all I gotta do is that, and I'm making bands. I don't even really have to dance like that. I don't gotta get on a pole, do no tricks. Like, all I gotta do is twerk. And she made such a good point. I'm not even gonna lie. She was like, girl, y'all be in the club twerking for free. Y'all be in the club twerking for free. Go ahead and twerk in the club and make some money. And I'm not even gonna lie, I was enticed. But I was like, but I don't know if it was that night or maybe the next day. I think it was the next day. I had really thought about it, and I was just like, why would I want to do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I want to do that? If I don't want just some random, not random, but just any man to come into my space, be knowing they don't deserve it, why would I want to show my body, again, my temple, to another man while he's also throwing money at me? Not thinking there's plenty of downsides to being a lady of the night, right? You can get attacked. A lot of women get assaulted, you know, things like that. But morally speaking, why would I want to put myself in that predicament? No shade, no nothing against women who do that. That is your decision, and that's on you. That's your life, right? But for me, like, I want to hold myself to such a high standard. This will be bringing me back ages. How can I want to hold myself to a higher standard and also, one, being obedient and doing something like this? Being a sinner is easy. I'm telling you, being a sinner is easy, but I was convicted. I am convicted in the sense of, like, I know this is going to be disobedient to God. I know God will never go for this. God would have never wanted this on my life. And I'm going to go into willing sin to appease my flesh, to have money, when there are a million trillion other ways to make money, right? And he's probably setting me up right now in this moment. I'm thinking about this crap to make money another way and live the life that I want to live regardless. So why don't I sit back, be obedient, and wait. Be patient. You've already talked to God about this a couple months ago. Why are we now trying to rush the gun to do something out of our morals, out of your mind, knowing God will not like what you're doing? The Lord requires your obedience. I watched The House of David the other day, and I was watching this I watched the House of David first, and then I came on YouTube and I was watching the young lady, I forget her name, but her YouTube channel's In the Secret Place. And I watched it today. And I had actually read the story of Samuel, Saul, and David last night. And then I came on YouTube this morning and I looked at her video. And I was like, wow, I literally just watched that last night. And per se, she was talking about, being patient in the Lord, being obedient, and understanding that your time is coming. And this is where I kind of wanted to get in my message, was saying, like, be obedient. Again, your time is coming. David waited 15 to 30 years to be king. Granted, he already knew where his destination was going. But look at the Jews from Egypt. I mean, look at that. Look at that. They were in the wilderness. Who else? I'm gonna put the story and where it is in the Bible. I'm gonna put it under here. Oh God, it was a woman of, I cannot remember her name at this very moment, but it was a woman of God who was trying to bear children. And she prayed to God. She waited for so long to bear children, and she finally bore her son and gave that son to God. Like, there are so many examples in the Bible of people not knowing their story, but also going through the wilderness and having to wait and being in your waiting season. I know we talk about this so often in church and in sermons and blah, 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 but it is so important to stay obedient in your waiting season, because, I mean, David, he became a king. Granted, he already knew his destiny, but before he knew his destiny, he was in his waiting season. He was in his waiting season because God needed to give him time to develop himself in order to tell him who he was going to be. And then he knew who he was going to be, and he had to wait even longer to get to his destination, to live that life. You know what I'm saying? So, and to be honest, in most times, God has already given you a hint of where you're supposed to be. That could be in dreams, in certain messages, in certain things that just pop up in your life all the time. So he's always sending you messages. He's always speaking to you. It's just, are you hearing him, right? Are you hearing him? And are you still being obedient when you don't hear him? Because this is my problem right now. My mind wants to be disobedient while I don't hear him, because I'm not hearing him right now. He's probably reaching out to me, but I do not understand, right? Girl, that's a word right there. I know it's always a word, but that's a word right there. That's a word right there. Like, just read your word, because you can think, okay, you know what? I don't hear from God. I'm gonna just do whatever I want to do. If you've been convicted before, you will be convicted again. It may not happen right on time, but at some point you will be convicted. When I got into that relationship this year, didn't tell y'all about that, but when I got into that relationship earlier this year that I knew damn well I wasn't supposed to be in, it took me a little minute to get convicted, but I was convicted. And as soon as I got convicted, I prayed about it, and that was what it was. Yeah, ladies. Stay obedient. Stay obedient. And control your lust. I think I should do a better video about lust. I think I want to do a deeper video about lust. Because lust is crazy. Lust is crazy. So comment in below if you want that. You know what? If you don't even comment, I'm going to do it anyways. I don't care. I'm going to do it anyways, because why not? And why not spread the knowledge of Jesus? And also spread the knowledge of you to yourself. All right, ladies.